Okay, so exes. Why are people exes and how to learn from exes? Hey guys, welcome back to the show, welcome back to the diary. So, I've had a few exes. Now, I'm not going to talk about any particular ex in particular here but there are so many different reasons why people are exes, and how do you learn from your exes how to make sure your next partner does not become an ex? Well, either at all or for a long time. So first of all, you gotta look at why the relationship broke down. Did you argue? When you argued, did you not resolve it properly? Did you go to sleep on the argument and then wake up even still angry? Or did they say something stupid, you took it the wrong way? Did you say something stupid, they took it the wrong way? Did you guys have completely polar opposite views on things? Did you guys have polar opposite interests? This is why people in the olden times, and I mean just quite not recently, but even during the wartime, yes, people during the wartime got together pretty quickly and married pretty quickly, but then that's because the threat of death, the threat of dying, and the threat of the relationship just going nowhere and downhill was quite high during that time. A lot of people were tying the knot as quick as they could because they could tell they wanted to be with that person for as long as possible, or for the rest of their lives, however long that would be. And they weren't sure when they were going to see each other next, or even be with each other next. So they did tie the knot as quick as possible while they still could. But it's that thing. Before that time, and when that threat's not quite so ominous or in your face, people always used to date. Dating is the biggest thing you can do. And I don't just mean, oh yeah, we're boyfriend girlfriend kind of dating. I mean, go to places, do things. If you're a big food person, do food dates. If you're not a big food person like me, I mean, I don't mind food dates, I really don't, but I'm awkward with food dates. I'm awkward with food dates because it depends on how I'm feeling at the time. If my stomach's funny, I'm not going to eat masses. So I can be quite a cheap date. But if I'm really hungry and my stomach's fine, I'll either grab something big and then not finish it. So yeah, wastage is not... I mean, I don't like wasting things like that, especially when it comes to food and stuff, because yeah, England, we are one of the richer countries in the world, and we have that privilege of being able to be somewhere and eat. Not every country has that, so I don't like that wastage. So I feel awkward about that. So food dates are one thing, food dates are others. Do things together, play video games. If you enjoy video games, you both enjoy video games, go to like a gaming cafe, or go to a gaming event, or go to an anime convention, or whatever it is you enjoy. Do things you enjoy with your date and see if they enjoy it, see how they respond to it. If they're like, they're probably only trying to take an interest because it's something you enjoy. If that happens, it's not a sign to stop the dating straight away. Maybe try asking them if they would take you somewhere where they would enjoy. See what they like. And then if you're there like, doing the same, one more date. Something in the middle of the two things that you've just done. And then hopefully you'll have something that you both enjoy, something you both like. And if the chemistry's there when you're doing something that you both like together, then keep it going. If the chemistry's not there when you're doing something you both enjoy or you both should enjoy, then maybe, yeah, maybe cut the dates off, I don't know. But that's the thing, it's like, so many things in relationships that happen that break a relationship down. They can happen to anyone and they can happen at any point. It's how you always respond in that moment to it that helps, sort of thing. So that's why I'm saying the dating aspect is a good idea, because then if it's an interest problem, you find out straight away that you don't have the same sort of interests, and anything they like you're not going to enjoy at all, and anything you like they're not going to enjoy at all. So just cut off that straight off the bat, and you don't need to worry about it. But say arguments, for example. You have an argument with your partner. It's a typical argument. It's over something understandable. It's not trivial, it's not stupid or anything like that. It's over something general and it's over something normal. Are you shouting and screaming at each other about it? Or are you just like, no, you're this is that, but this is not what it needs to be? And you're both like, I'm angry, but I'm staying calm enough to talk to you because I want to be calm, and you're listening to me, so I'm happy to be calm. And then the other side's the same. It's like, right, you just spoke, right, so it's my turn. Blah, 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 blah. And you're sat there listening. If that's the way you're taking an argument, that's the way you should be taking an argument, because standing there screaming and shouting at each other is not going to help the argument at all. You're just having a shouting match, and then you'll have the insult match, which does not help at all. Never let yourselves get into the insult match, because the insult match will always break down the relationship. It will always cause problems. There is also, I mean, some people would say never point the finger of blame. I'm always a bit 50-50 on that one. If something's gone wrong and it is someone's fault, and you know that if something like that doesn't change, it's going to keep happening, it's okay to point the finger of blame, but you don't want to be always there like, you did this, you did that, you. It needs to be more like, that happened, oh my days, that is irritating, I'm gonna keep doing this if this keeps happening. I need this to somehow change, or I need this to somehow stop, otherwise this is just gonna keep happening. That's the better approach to it. And it's also all about tone of voice as well. You've got to be careful with how you're saying it and how you're wording it and what tone of voice you're using, especially when it comes to the autistic. That's the other thing. I know I said I wasn't going to mention a particular ex, but at this point I kind of have to. Autistic on autistic relationships are amazing, they're beautiful, and they are good. However, you want to be careful about what type of autistic on autistic relationship you have, because my 2 autistic on autistic relationships didn't really go down very well, and that's mainly because of the barrier between communication. So my lack of communication, or lack of ability to communicate properly, compared to their lack of ability to communicate properly, clashed too hard. So we'd either be there screaming, shouting at each other, or we'd be trying to say something to each other, and it's just getting missed because we're either talking over each other, or we're not actually listening to the main point of it. We're just hearing one little bit and then running a mile with it. That's another thing. Try and calm yourself down enough to hear every last little bit of what your partner's telling you, or what the person you're into is trying to tell you. Because if you pick one little bit out of it and run a mile with it, you're not going to get very far, because you're just going to keep getting angry at stupid, silly little things that don't need to be got angry at. It's that thing of anger which is my biggest problem. I know that I tend to run a mile with things a lot. I do run a marathon with little things quite a bit, but I'm working hard to shut that brain down as quick as I can, so that yes, I'm jumping the hurdle still, but I'm not running the marathon with it. I'm jumping the hurdle because I'm still like, I can't stop my brain going at that point in time, because it's just natural. But I'm got it to the point where it's like, and it's just freeze. And then we work through it, we think about it, it's like, hang on a minute, this is trivial, this is stupid. Those doorways, is this fair? Is this kind? Is this relevant kind of doorways that everyone walks through with their thoughts before they say something? Autistic people don't have those doorways, or we don't go through those doorways properly, or if we do, it just speeds right through them. So I have a second doorway now, or a second set of doorways. When I freeze framed that anger one, is this worth being angry over? Am I really angry at that, or am I angry at something else? What is it I'm actually angry at right now? And if it can't go through any one of those doors, I find ways of opening that door, giving it an answer for it to go through that door, and then say, is this still worth being angry over? Should I be this angry about it? And if it's a no, so should I still be this angry about it, or should I be this angry about it? It doesn't go through. I don't get overly angry about it, because there's no point in being angry over something trivial and stupid, because it's tiny, it's ridiculous. Don't sweat the small stuff, as they say. So just literally don't sweat the small stuff. If you wouldn't stay angry at someone for a long period of time over it, why are you having an argument over it, sort of thing? Have a polite discussion, just be like, look, this is annoying. It's trivial, I know, but I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna explode if it keeps going, sort of thing. So that's one way that you can help, that sort of thing at least, stop your partners turning into an ex so quickly. Don't get so angry over trivial stuff. It's just basically look back on your past relationships. What happened? What broke them down? What were they like in the honeymoon stage? Where did it start going wrong? What did they do? What did you do? What did you both do? Those sort of questions you want to look back on and think to yourself and ask yourself, because that's where you will find the answers on how to fix any future relationships, or how to prepare for any future relationships to help them stay strong and healthy. Look for the bad points. Keep an eye on the good stuff as well, because you want to keep the good stuff going. Like, say something bad happened and you know you had a good response to it. Take that good response and go forward with it as well, because basically with another one of my exes, I chased after splitting up, and I found out that was more stressful for the both of us than it was helpful. So instead of doing that with the one after that, I turned around and said, you know what, fair dues. If ever you want to take it again, I don't mind. However, I'm putting the ball in your court. If you don't want to, it's entirely up to you. If I'm free, single, whatever, when you want to take it again, I'm happy to. But it's entirely up to you. And it's worked. I mean, we're not currently in masses of contact right now because time, busy and everything, but we are still mutually okay with each other. We're not like best buddies or anything, but because we're obviously in two different towns. We live in 2 different places. We can't be best buddies with each other like that. But we are as close as we can be after something like that. So always try and take any kind of rejection as straight up and as kind of sensitively as you can. And also, if you ever feel like you want to try a relationship with an ex again, then just be open-minded about it. If it was a bad relationship, you want to look at, is this going to happen again? Can I put myself through that pain again? Are they actually changing? Do they want to change? Will they change? And all sorts like that. That's talking about the seriously bad people that you've been with before. I mean, if you've been with a violent guy, yeah, don't go there. Don't go there. Most violent guys will not change at all. And if they do, for a month and a half, and then it's like, right back to it. So if violent guys in particular, and I know girls can be violent too, but for violent guys in particular, most violent guys will not change at all. And like I said, they'll pretend they've changed for a month and a half. And yes, there are some guys out there that genuinely have that moment where it was completely void of proper concentration and intent, and they do genuinely change. But you've also got to look at how many times. How many times did that violence happen? How many times did they apologize? How many times did they say they would change? How many times did they say they were different? They would be different, sorry. If it's more than 3 or more than 2, they're not going to change. If it's once that they said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I will change, I'll be different, blah, 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 and they've never done it since, you might be able to give them a pass on that one. Because, like I said, there are times when some guys just, they have no control, and it's the same with girls. We don't always have masses of control over what we do at any given time. And we say silly stuff. We say stupid things. Everyone says things they'll regret. Everyone says things they regret. So, who's to say it doesn't work the same with physical actions? That's the other thing. A few... one in particular. If they're promising to shower you with gifts and then not showering you, it's not... I mean, you don't want to go breaking up with them just because of that, because, like I said, that's a trivial thing. But it's something to look at. Why are they doing it? What else are they doing? Are they saving up for a new place with you together? You see, that's why I was saying you don't want to go breaking up with them, because if they're saving up for a new place to live with you in, obviously they're not going to show you gifts because they're saving up for a flat or a house or something. But it's what they're doing alongside it, what they're doing instead of it, what they're saying and what they're doing. You need to look at that. That's why I said look back on what's happened previous. Is it worth doing? Is it worth it? What happened? How did it break down, basically? And just learn from it. So that is a ranty kind of explanation sort of thing about exes, why people, well, sort of, why people become exes and how to spot it, what to do to look at your previous relationships and how best to change what happened so that your current partner, future partners don't become exes quickly or at all. But no, that's it for me today, guys. I'll see you Monday. See you Tuesday. That's it for me today, guys. I'll see you Tuesday. See ya.
Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime.